Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Aprilianingtyas from class A afternoon. On this association, I will present material about thesis. And the first material about definition of thesis. Thesis is a word or phrase whose reference is not pieces. There are three types of thesis. Number 1, space thesis. Example, this, there, and so. Number 2, present thesis. Example, I, you, and he. And the last, time thesis. Example, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. The three types of thesis depend on the interpretation on the participant in the communications in the same context. And there is material about thesis as a part of the reference. Thesis is a type of reference constituted by the meaning of a linguistic sign being relative. In the extra-linguistic context is which the sign is used. The semantic nature of the kind of reference is extra-communicative, frequency, and functions. Its association-based pattern and its processing have long puzzled linguistics, philosophers, psychologists, and anthropologists. This article presents an introduction to some of the research that has focused on deictic signs and meaning and their epistemology. The deictic reference occurs whenever a linguistic sign receives part of its meaning from the extra-linguistic contents. And there is material, the elements of deictics, the contents of speech, and definitely. The first, the element of deictic. The deictic element of a language are a linguistic from relating the utterance to particular time, place, speaker, or discourse content. In the present study, subject memorize sentence containing word from 1-5 deictic categories. Deictic place adverb, demonstrative adjective, articles, deictic verb, and temporal adverb. When the sentence will be present in the usual experimental setting in which they are isolated from actual time, place, person, and discourse content. And next, context of speech. Utterance itself can be part of the content of the utterance if topic of conversation happens to be about this distant time as place. Contexts are considered continually during the courses of conversation. As a conversation progresses, items previously unmentioned and not even associated with the topics so far discussed are mentioned for the first time and then become part of the contents of the following utterance. And the next, definitely. Definiteness is a feature of a noun phrase selected by a speaker to convey its assertion that the hearer will be able to identify the reference of the noun phrase, usually because it is the only thing and if the kind of the contents of the utterance, or because it is unique in the universe of discourse. And there is material about anaphora. Some deictic words can also be used as anaphora items. Anaphora is a kind of secondary reference in which a previous reference is related by the use of special function, word, or equivalent lexims. Anaphora is a kind of secondary reference in which a previous reference is related by the use of special function, word, or equivalent lexims. And the last material, referential ambiguity. Mature understanding occurs when a speaker has one reference in mind on for a defined expression, like a gear of the papers, and the address a thinking of a different gear or some other papers. No doubt we have all expressions and been troubled by this kind of problems in reference. We can see other instances of referential ambiguity that are due to the nature of referring expression and the figures the pieces of linguists necessarily have. And I will give a conclusion from material. Is a piece of information basically requires educational in the internal information structure itself so that the person with when is communicate and understand the message correctly. Problems will arise when the information only results out from the context because understanding contents requires special abilities that are specifically related to the lexis used in the context. Lexis is a semantic system found in word construction that can only be interpreted by reference by taking into account and the in situation of the conversation. I think this is just for me. That's all. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.